Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for February 2014. And every year at this time the Sun comes into a very sociable area of your chart, so that's kind of lighting up everything around your friends, making new friends, making new contacts as well. It's a very future orientated period, and good for networking, good for anything with technology as well. And it's also good with moving forwards with something that's maybe been just in the sort of the corner, stuck in the corner for a long time, gathering dust. The unusual thing that's going on at the moment is that lots of the planets, apart from the moon really and the sun, are in long-term transits. So even Mercury is moving back and forth between Pisces and Aquarius at the moment. Mars, your ruling planet, is staying in kind of stuck really in Libra until July. During this month it is moving forwards though. Venus is stuck in Capricorn until March, and of course the slower moving outer planets are doing their thing, which is moving slowly through the signs. So even Venus and Mars, and even I would say a little bit Mercury, are doing more what the outer planets do. So that means that the energies, the attention, the activity will be focused into certain key areas of your solar chart, and probably different areas in your natal chart, and that will be the same for all of the signs in their different areas. So for you, that's where the Sun will be up until the 19th. As I say, Mercury is moving backwards from Pisces into Aquarius, so as the month kicks off, Mercury is going forwards, but only until the 6th, when Mercury starts to retrograde. It retrogrades between the 6th and the 28th. So Mercury retrogrades back into Aquarius from the 13th. So as the month begins, Mercury is in Pisces. That's the sign before yours, and that means that your thought processing will be coming from a deeper level, from a more imaginal realm, from a sort of more intuitive place, and conversations or discussions could be very much confined to the what ifs, the maybes. The thing about Mercury there is that it can lack clarity, so you can't make an absolute decision on something, because that's just the nature of this sector of your solar chart. To others you may seem a little preoccupied because you're more likely just to zone out every now and again, and you should really not try to struggle against that. Just go with the flow of it really, because it's allowing your problem solving or your figuring out to come from a deeper, more subconscious level of yourself. And using the hard-headed logic isn't going to work very well with Mercury here, but it's very good. It's the sort of like the picture-making part of the chart of the houses, the 12 houses. So Mercury until the 13th is working from these deeper levels, but you could feel that certain things are up in the air. But it's great for anything to do with imagination, and also for figuring out things in a way which is not direct, it's kind of indirect, it's oblique, if you get what I mean, and it's good for doing things like meditation. Now from the 13th, Mercury has gone back into Aquarius. That puts the mental focus in the same area as the Sun, where the Sun has been since the beginning of the month, and that's to do with friends, that's to do with moving forwards with something, that's to do with maybe picking up on information which is kind of out of the blue. It's unusual. It could be revealing. It could make you feel as though you can progress with something. More involvement with some kind of collective is likely. Getting online more maybe. And it's through who you know rather than what you know that can help you move forwards, and you can do well in a kind of team dynamic there. But everything's moving in retrograde, so as always with Mercury retrograde, it tends to slow things down it tends to mean that you've got to kind of trust that things are coming together, because Mercury retrograde has all of us, when Mercury is retrograde, coming from a less directly logical, rational place, but a more instinctive rational place. And using the instinct, they've looked at chess players and they've studied them. And the ones that do the best are the ones that are instinctive. They recognize a pattern on the chessboard like it was somebody's face. So that isn't direct working out and logical thinking. That is just a kind of recognition. It's sort of like Photoshop, really. And so when Mercury's retrograde, it's more like the emerging into the frontal lobes of something that's coming from a deeper place. So between the 6th and the 28th, when Mercury is going through Pisces and then backwards into Aquarius, even though the general tone will be as I've described, the whole thing will be under the retrograde, which is coming from a deeper place. So a time for more pondering, a time for a little bit more contemplation as well. Another thing about Mercury is that between the 18th and 22nd, Mercury is going across the degree of Saturn, so that might mean there's more limitations put on you for some reason. You just feel as though you've got to be more careful, more cautious there in your communications, but also there could be maybe more paperwork, that kind of thing. And now, Venus is in another long transit. That's up at the top of your chart. She'll be there until early next month, and she's been there since November in 2013. So this is an area where she will tend to ease the way, oil the wheels in a career sense. She's not going to just deliver something already cooked, you know, into your hands, but she can help you with the cooking because she'll give you the ingredients. So that means that authority figures, bosses, parental figures, they will tend to be more positively emphasized in your life and could see you in a good light. Of course, when this transit comes along, it depends which part of your life you're at, whether you're in a job, whether you're in the employment market, whether you it's not about the job, maybe it's about another goal that you want to achieve in your life, which isn't necessarily a professional one. It could be about parents as well. So anyway, somebody that you seems to hold the reins or has the cards, or somebody you wish to impress, will tend to be more well disposed towards you, and you could even be socializing with somebody who's got the power to help you move in the right direction. And you yourself, actually, if we turn that around, could be the one that takes a firm but friendly stand on behalf of another and enables another and supports another. So that can be coming in either direction. And this transit could also involve you in more artistic activities or team you up with another to achieve the master plan. And just on that subject of teaming up, Mars in this extremely long transit of your opposite sign, Libra, until next July, means that teaming up would be a smart thing to do. Mars is your ruling planet, so anything that Mars is up to is significant for you, and that means that partnerships, association, one-to-one work is going to be more dynamic, lively, sometimes a bit conflicting, because that's the way Mars is. But because of the agenda of another, there's probably going to be more demands on you, and more the need for you to be decisive, you to take action, you to get going, and other way around as well. So you cook up things together, and you and someone could actually elicit strong opinions in each other, or conversely, maybe you feel a strong pull towards someone, or they feel a strong pull towards you. That kind of thing can be going on, and for some of you, you know, that can be good news in the romance department. But it'll definitely be, I think, quite demanding and active. It's not just going to be, you know, sedentary and perhaps there'll be lots of action with it. And just be patient, don't be hasty, whatever kind of teaming up it is or relationship it is, because you know, that can upset things as you throw caution to the winds or handle somebody badly or say something that you should really have not. And the advice would be to try to just keep things on an even keel, keep communication lines open, understand where the other's coming from, confer, you know, maybe compromise, cooperate, and you can do well with this one here, whatever kind of association, alliance, partnership it is. And you know, because your opposite number isn't likely to be having the same transit, and just don't be over assertive there. If you know, just slow down and listen to where they're coming from. But another's willingness to take action with you or on your behalf can be very invaluable at this time, because it might be somebody very dynamic and decisive who's as a matter of fact is helping you out with their energy, with their connections, and that could be beneficial to you. But you know, just curb your impulsiveness. And you Arians born the 11th to the 14th of April, or with 21 to 24 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most this month. Excuse me. And then there's Jupiter, a slower outer planet, highlighting expansion related to your place in the map, the neighborhood you're in, the community, the hub of activity that you're in, and you getting a more of a sense of feeling more inwardly balanced, really, more of a sense of belonging, and outwardly community relationships should improve. But also another thing about this one here is it's a good time to move. If anybody of you want to move, you feel it's time, then it is actually a good time to move. And it's a good time to expand your existing space. It's a good time to just, I don't know, have a reshuffle on the home patch. Or maybe another way this can work is you have more visiting going on. You can get to somewhere that gives you more space in some way, or you get more people coming into your space visiting you. And you Arians born the 29th of March to the 3rd of April, or with 9 to 13 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. Just to mention that from mid-January through February, Jupiter is opposing Pluto. That can be, I don't know how it can work out, but it can be quite an intense vibration. So just avoid the pitfall of being too narrow or obsessing over something or somebody, attempting to control or disagreeing violently with what others are thinking or believing, because you could feel a resistance coming from others. It might just be rules and regulations, it might be their values, I don't know, but it might cause you to scrutinize your beliefs and to maybe modify your response. What I do know about this one is you might have to let go of something in order to preserve something else. Another aspect going on from late January to the end of the first week of February is a relationship is going to be broadening your horizons in some way. Now that's for you to know. I can't know that from here, but that can be quite a good one, but just don't overstep the mark. Saturn's in Scorpio until just about the end of this year, and this is about changing gears emotionally very slowly. This is a long transit. This could mean that again you're clearing the decks emotionally, but also in other ways, materially, physically. This may involve property, finances, relationships, and your own bad habits, which you know are always getting in the way of health and well-being. So you just become more aware of that kind of thing, and you have to work harder at it. You've got to plug away at it, because as a matter of fact, these sorts of things can seem unsolvable wherever Saturn goes. She sets up a fear dynamic and also a dynamic of limitation. Can't get out of this. I don't see any way out. But zooming out from that a little bit more, yes, this is a time when you were changing gears, whether you feel like it or not at the time. Finding out what you don't want, and then realizing what you do want, and then putting all of your energy, of your attention towards that thing, sometimes ditching or modifying a previous setup, arrangement, contract, in favor of something which is more comfortable for you, and it will be gradual. So sometimes you've got to work within the parameters of the old way before you can get fully into the new way. And you Arians born between the 10th and 14th of April with 21 to 24 degrees rising are going to feel that energy the most. And of course you do have Aries in your sign. I'm always, Uranus in your sign, Aries, so I'm always mentioning this. And then also Pluto. So this is a time of radical change for you anyway. And opportunities are coming for you to change your status in the world, or status. And just, you know, the universe is doing a makeover on you, really. And even though it might feel like it at the time, it is actually your choice how these things are shaping up. And you've got to really steer through this heavy weather in a way, and keep going to the direction you want. And of course that you might have to sort of duck and dive and sort of, or what they do with sailing, tack to get to there. But you always know you're going to there, okay? But that might alter because there might be something that happens along the way which changes. But progress is likely to come in unexpected or inspired hops across the board of life as you know, the next wave comes at you, and the next wave. But of course you're not going to be getting that all the time. Mostly this month it's you Arians born between the 28th and 31st of March, with 8 to 11 degrees rising. And if you want to know what the outer planets are doing, that's all written up on my website for the stars for 2014. And listen to your rising sign or your moon sign. That might be interesting, give you more information on what could be coming up in February. And the sun is moving into a very background area from the 19th. I didn't mention that. So that's more you doing stuff behind the scenes and preparing for when the sun comes into your sign in March. And I'll see you the next time.